Welcome back to the 2-Minute Warning. Today I'm taking a look at the Buffalo Bills and specifically quarterback Josh Allen and going over whether or not I think he could win MVP in the upcoming season. But before we get into that topic, just a quick question for those of you viewing. What do you think the Buffalo Bills record will be in 2021? And of course, keep in consideration that it's going to be a 17-game season. You think it'll be above 500, below 500? You think they'll go to the Super Bowl? Whatever it is, comment down below. But getting straight into it, Josh Allen, a guy that's taken one of the biggest steps we've ever seen from year 2 to year 3 in the NFL, putting up just 20 touchdowns in year 2 and then 37 in year 3, taking his team to the AFC Championship, being an MVP conversationalist. Now in year 4, can he go on and win the prize and actually take the MVP award home? Is it possible? 100%. I mean, if you're a conversationalist last year, I think he could do it this year. He's got the supporting cast around him. He's got a very stout O-line. He's got a top 6, top 5 receiver in Stefon Diggs. You know, a lot of people give credit to, the biggest reason Josh Allen took a step forward was Brian Daboll, the offensive coordinator. And, you know, kudos to Brian Daboll. He deserves his flowers, and especially Sean McDermott, a very well-rounded coach. But I think a big part was Stefon Diggs. He instantly came into that offense and just changed everything for him. You know, they gave up a first-round pick for him. Stefon Diggs, before he got to the Bills, he wasn't talked about as a top 5, top 6 receiver. You know, he got his respect as one of the better receivers in the NFL. But for him to make a jump from tier, 2 receiver to all of a sudden tier 1, him and Josh Allen both fed off of each other, and I think he's a huge part of this Bills' success last year. And like I said, credit to Josh Allen and the supporting cast and Brian Daboll, but I do think Stefon Diggs might deserve, I don't want to say the biggest responsibility, but definitely some of, if not most of, the responsibility as to why Josh Allen took such a huge step. And of course, a lot of it was just more experience and more reps. But like I said, Stefon deserves his kudos. But even outside of him, we know how good Cole Beasley is. They have Gabriel Davis. They added Emmanuel Sanders. Him and John Brown might be interchangeable. We might not see that much of an upgrade, but still, Emmanuel Sanders is a very reliable receiver to have. I've already said the O-line is pretty stout. I do have concerns about the backfield with Zach Moss, Devin Singletary, Matt Breida, whoever's going to come out of there as the starter, I'm not sure. But with the better O-line, possibly with an offense that has more chemistry together, one of the 3 could emerge to be a pretty reliable back. Defense, we know how good the secondary is with the Tre'davious White and Micah Hyde duo. You already have Tyron Johnson. I feel like he's got talent. I mean, he's the starting quarterback in the NFL, but I feel like he's just a little more overhyped because of the pick 6 he had against the Ravens, and it was a great play. I don't know how stellar of a real cornerback he is. Again, he's an NFL player. He's good, but I don't know if he's really a huge part of bringing a lot of success to that secondary and, being a part of the star power in it. Up front, you got Tremaine Edmonds, one of the top linebackers. Pass rush was definitely addressed in the draft, and that was kind of their biggest need if you had to pinpoint it to one thing. You already had Jerry Hughes and Ed Oliver, got Mario Addison, now you got Gregory Rousseau, you drafted Carlos Basham. This pass rush is definitely going to go from one of the bottom ones to one of the top ones. They're not going to be Aaron Donald, Leonard Floyd, TJ Watt, Devin Bush, Cameron Hayward, but they're going to definitely take a step forward and really help them put them over the top. And I think with having this amount of weapons to rely on, Stefon Diggs, Cole Beasley, Emmanuel Sanders, a defense he could count on almost all the time, Josh Allen is only going to get better. Last year, he put up 4,500 yards, 37 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. This year, I think he's going to repeat that. Unfortunately for Josh Allen, I think he might have to win the AFC, as in be the first seed and have the best record in the AFC to really win MVP. That's just what we've seen over the years. Mahomes last year, or when Mahomes won it, they were the first seed. When Lamar won it, they were the first seed. When Aaron Rodgers just won it, the Packers were the first seed. And it's not a requirement. You can get it done being the second seed, 13-3. You can't get much better than that like he was last year. And I'm just saying it'll definitely help his case and his resume to put together an MVP case. And he's going to have to outperform Mahomes in the same conference. Mahomes, I don't want to say he was much better than Josh Allen last year, but he had more yards, he had more touchdowns. And again, Josh Allen put up pretty numbers, and that's why he was a conversationalist. But if he really wants to top this year as MVP, and I know that's not the end-all, be-all goal, I'm sure he'd value a Super Bowl MVP or Super Bowl over just regular season MVP, and I would too. But I'm just saying, if he is chasing that, or just if he's looking to be in that conversation, he's going to have to outperform Mahomes in yards and touchdowns and interceptions. And I think it's possible, having an extra 17th game this season, having more reps, getting Emmanuel Sanders in this offense, just being more familiar, being hungrier this season. I think they were embarrassed in the AFC Championship. I don't want to say it was so embarrassing you didn't want to watch the game, but I think they were just embarrassed that they got sent home. They wanted the Super Bowl ring. They wanted to beat the Chiefs. This year, I think they're going to be on a revenge tour, and I definitely think Josh Allen will again be in the MVP conversation. To say he will win it, it's really hard to say this early because going into the NFL season, there's all kinds of MVP candidates you could pick right now. Maybe Lamar, now that he's got some receivers, he'll be in it again. Mahomes will always be in it. Aaron Rodgers will always be in it if he's healthy or if he's with the Packers. I mean, Tom Brady with the Bucs could make a comeback now that he's got an actual season of mini camps and training camps and practice and preseason. Russell Wilson's never won an MVP. Maybe he's looking for it this year. Maybe year 2, Justin Herbert will be fighting for it. There's a lot of MVP candidates out there that Josh Allen's going to have to overcome. But I definitely think it's possible. He was in the conversation last year. Who's to say he can't be in the conversation again this year, yet this time take home the trophy? He's going to have to top what he did last year in 4,500 yards and 37 touchdowns, but I think he could do that for a number of reasons. A, just having more experience. B, being hungrier, having that mentality that they got gypped last year and now they want to go all the way. C, you got an extra game this year. 17 games versus 16. I think that could really come into play and up in your numbers. And of course, it'll come into play for upping every other quarterback's number. Everyone's playing 17 games, not just Josh Allen. But I'm just saying it could really just be an extra game that maybe in that last game, Josh Allen throws 450 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 0 picks, and that put the cherry on top for his MVP case. Or it could be vice versa. He throws 200 yards, 0 touchdowns, 2 picks. It's really could go either way, but I'm just saying I think that 17th game could really come into play for how a lot of quarterbacks' resumes turn out for the MVP case this year. I'm excited to see how it does. I think with a better defense to rely on, being in better situations, possibly having an even better record than 13-3 last year, this Bills team could definitely make it far in the playoffs. It's hard to say they'll be in the AFC Championship again just because of how good the AFC is. You got Mahomes and the Chiefs, the obvious one, Ravens and Lamar. Browns have one of the best rosters in the NFL. Titans, now that they got Derrick Henry, Julio Jones, A.J. Brown. But again, Bills are on par with every team in the AFC, if not better. I'm just saying it's hard to automatically give them a appearance at the AFC Championship just because of how good all these other teams are. Either way, I'm excited to see it happen. I think Josh Allen can win MVP 100%. Will he? Like I said, it's really hard to bet on early in the season. If I was forced to pick yes or no, I would say no. That's just a hunch feeling. I think someone will outperform him, but I do think he will be in the conversation again. Just because he don't win MVP doesn't mean it was a failure of a season, but I'm just saying I don't think he'll win it. Tom Brady didn't win MVP last year, yet he won Super Bowl MVP. Josh Allen, just because he might not win a regular season MVP next year, doesn't mean they can't go on to win a Super Bowl. Again, I think he can win it. I think he will be in the running, but if I was forced to pick a quarterback this year to win it, I don't know if I would bet my money on Josh Allen. But as always, guys, comment down below, what do you think? Again, maybe if you trade for a tight end and Zach Ertz, now you got an extra weapon on this team, we could see this offense progress. Or Dawson Knox, him going to, that tight end U camp with George Kittle and Travis Kelce and all the other tight ends. Maybe he'll take a huge step forward, and that'll just be one extra piece on this offense. I could get Josh Allen a couple more yards or a couple more touchdowns this year. The offseason isn't completely done. The season hasn't started yet, so my opinion can change, but I'm excited to see it. I can't wait to see it. You guys tell me, do you agree? Do you disagree? I think, again, he'll be in the running, but I would not give him the trophy today if I was forced to pick who will win. But as always, guys, truly appreciate it. Thank you for watching. 2-minute warning.